Welcome to Sports Corner with Ralph Williams and Smokin' Jim Frazier. And now here's your host, Ralph Williams and Smokin' Jim Frazier.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and MM The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, the Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports, Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, the Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
Yeah, it's a funky town. It is the Sports Corner Show with me, Ralph Williams, and Smokin' Jim Frazier. And today we are not only on our regular platforms, or we are on the Huddle Sports Network. For the first show is today, right here on the Huddle Sports Network, along with our regular platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X platforms as well. So it's great to be here today. We have a great show for you. And also, I wanted to say that this show is dedicated to my late father, Ralph Williams II, and my late nephew, Sean Negley Jr. All right, let's get started here. Smokin' Jim Frazier, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Looking forward to this one.
All right, thank you. And we are here for the Sports Corner Show. I'm Ralph Williams, once again, your host. And coming up, we have Mike SSZAK from the Amped Up Sports. He will be joining us to talk with us about the Washington Redskins, Baltimore Ravens, and the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. All right, let's see what we got here. And someone says, Steve here, says, Ralph, hello, how are you, Steve? Thanks for being part of the program. Appreciate it. All right. Okay, let's get started. Let me get started with my rant here. I want to say the national championship game in football was a complete blowout. And, you know, Ryan Day and Ohio State, I got to give them a lot of credit this time. They did a really good job of neutralizing Notre Dame's offense. They did a really good job. The interesting part about it is Notre Dame's coach, defensive coordinator Al Golden, could be moving on to greener pastures. He could be working in the NFL. And Marcus Freeman might not have the same team he had this year, next year. And Ryan Day, on the other hand, saved his job this year. So you had two teams who I would have never thought Notre Dame would ever get back into the national championship. And they surprised me. And, you know, I was wrong. And I'll admit I was wrong because I didn't think Notre Dame would make it. Ohio State, I didn't think they would get in it either. But you know what? I've been wrong. But you know what? I've been right more. And that's my rant for today. All right, Smokin' Jim's wisdom.
Hey, good job, Ralph.
Thank you.
I tell you what, man, I don't know how to cook, but I do know about curses. I know about curses, brother. And I've been saying this. Bobby Lane in 1958, after winning 3 world championships with the Detroit Lions, They were the best team in the National Football League. They traded him to the Pittsburgh Steelers, their greatest player of all time for that franchise. And he said they'll never win another championship for 50 years. Next year it'll be 68 years and counting. I didn't know how they was going to lose it. I did not think they was going to lose to the Washington Commanders. But I knew somehow, some way they was not going to win a championship because that curse is alive and well.
All right. Yes, it is. Actually, you're right. I thought about that when I saw that they had lost, and so there we are with that. All right, let's see what we got here. Popcorn and a yellow striped smile. Absolutely. You know it, buddy. All right. I got some people who used to tune in when I had my old TV show on PCTV in the 90s. And I used to say, get the popcorn out and pour the sodas and get them ready for the show. And that's what they're talking about when they talk about the popcorn. Marta Heating and Air Conditioning is our sponsor, 724-201-0500. They are a studio sponsor for the programs today, both Sports Corner and immediately following Sports Corner is Wrestle Talk. And also today, Mike SSZAK is sponsored by the original Hometown Pizza, 412-264-4444, right on University Boulevard in Moon Township. The original Hometown Pizza. Call them today, eat in, takeout, or delivery. All right, let's get Mike. He's been patiently waiting. I ran late today because I had some technical problems getting us into the Huddle Sports Network, but obviously we're in because we got a bunch of viewers here today viewing the show. So it's great to be part of the Huddle Sports Network with myself, Smoking Jim Frazier, our guest, Mike SSZAK from Amped Up Sports. Mike, welcome to the program.
How you doing, Rob? How you doing, Smoking Jim? Great to talk to you gentlemen, as always.
Smoking Jim, what do you have? Mike said hello.
Hey, thanks, Mike. How you doing, buddy?
I can't complain too much. It was definitely a interesting weekend here.
All right, there you go.
In this area.
There you go. Oh, absolutely. After yesterday, I get the picture there. All right, Mike, you cover the Washington Redskins, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Pittsburgh Steelers for Amped Up Sports, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm glad to have you on because the Washington Redskins, the Commanders. Wow, God help me if I say Redskins, man. I'll have all the the tribal people coming after me or whatever. But anyway, the Washington Commanders. Your thoughts on them moving on to the NFC championship game to go to the Super Bowl?
First thing, the Washington Commanders making it to the NFC Championship game means since 1995, 15 to 16 teams in the NFC have now advanced to the NFC Championship game. I'll leave it to you all to figure out which one is the lone outlier in that stat. The Cowboys.
I'm sorry, the Cowboys. Yeah, exactly. Sorry about that. I had a brain fart there for a minute. It's been if you could not have scripted a better season for the DC fans. We get the land back. They can hopefully build a new RFK, so the team will be out of Landover or whatever you want to call it by the end of this decade. Hopefully, they get the number 2 pick. They get Jaden Daniels, who's absolutely the perfect guy for this. They land the coach that they wanted in Dan Quinn. He's put together a team that resembles like some cross between the Bad News Bears, the Mighty Ducks, in the island of misfit toys. Like how you've gotten this team of just basically cast-offs to function together the way that they have, and they've gotten hot. They've won. They had won at one point 6 games in a row on basically walk-off plays. This is the first game that they've had since they beat up on the Panthers that coming out of their bye week that they didn't have to go all the way to the wire to win it. And they get, they're the final team. They're the 6th seed, and they get a shot at the Eagles for a chance to go to the Super Bowl in Jaden Daniels' first season. Now, Ralph, here's another thing for you.
I think we can all agree now that Jaden Daniels is by far the best rookie in the NFL this year. But the funny thing is, there is a legitimate chance that after all of this, Jaden Daniels takes the Commanders to the NFC Championship game and possibly beyond. Let's not say that it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to lose. Jaden Daniels could do all of this as a rookie and still not win Rookie of the Year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've seen that happen many times. There's been a rookie that might have had better statistics than another rookie, and then they end up doing something.
It's just all a matter of if a bunch of people voted for Bo Nix.
Yes, exactly. Bo Nix, no way.
But Jaden Daniels is the one that's going to be the offensive rookie of the year. Jaden Daniels is the one in the championship game.
Exactly. All right, Pensman Sports says, "Hey guys, thank you, Pensman, for being part of the program as always." And he also says, "How you doing, Mike?"
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Pensman's a loyal watcher of the programs here. Also, Steve puts the thumbs up on everything we said here, and Pensman, all hit the like and subscribe. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Please do so. It keeps fluctuating. I had 200 the other day. Now I'm back down to 198. I don't know what's going on here. Seems like it fluctuates every other day. Trying to keep that 200 or get above it, but I'm having issues with that plateau right now. Smoking Jim, you have any questions for Mike about the Washington Commanders?
Oh, I tell you what, man, Mike laid it out so very, very well, and I would not be surprised to see Bo Nix win Rookie of the Year. But I'm not counting out the Washington Commanders to go into Philadelphia and get the upset. What do you think the chances are, Mike?
I mean, they have been the underdogs in every game that they've played. I don't think that we could have forecast that they would have done. I think it caught everybody except the most diehard of the diehards Commanders fans by surprise what they were able to do up in Detroit. But when you look at what they're doing, no turnovers at all in the playoffs. They have punted once in 2 games. This is an offense right now that is extremely efficient. And Jaden Daniels, with that kind of like triple run pass option that he's been running so well throughout these playoffs, has just got this offense turning over. They don't get behind the sticks. They keep themselves in manageable downs and distances. Dan Campbell has been great at knowing when to go for it, when not to. And they just are able to maximize each possession. And I think that's going to be critical to their chances. If they are able to do that, if they are able to play their game, it is going to put the Eagles in a position where whether or not they're actually chasing the game, might feel like they have to. And if you make Sirianni feel like he has to chase a game, he will inevitably make weird decisions. And that could be ultimately his undoing.
Oh, yeah.
If the Commanders go in and they play their game, manage the ball, avoid costly mistakes, don't do themselves. If they manage their game, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the Eagles, and I think that's going to be a problem for the Eagles.
Okay. All right. We got to pay a few bills here, but we're in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning Studios here at Studios 808 in the Allentown section of City of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I want to welcome all the audience here from Huddle Sports Network. Today is our debut show. We're on Roku, we're on Apple TV, and we're also on their Facebook page, as well as my Facebook page. And we're also on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter X platforms. On Twitter X, please follow my page as well. And on YouTube, please subscribe. I'm looking to get a whole bunch of subscribers this year. The 2025 is definitely going to be the year of the RW Media Productions. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Call them today. I know you'll need them with this cold spell. 724-2010-500 Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Also, we are brought to you in part by DraftNation.com. I just spoke to them a few days ago, and DraftNation.com not only has all the draft needs that you'll need. They have all the information. They break down the skinny of all the drafts, whether it's NBA, whether it's hockey, baseball, or football. They have a e-magazine that they put in your inbox for $9.99 a month. Check out DraftNation.com. And please let them know you heard it right here on the Sports Corner show, right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and we're now on the National Huddle Sports Network. And today's our debut show. And again, I want to welcome all of the viewers of the Huddle Sports Network. It's great to be here with all of you today. And I also want to welcome my good friend Bubba Brewer. His programs are now going to be on Huddle Sports Network as of this week. So, some great new programming here on the Huddle Sports Network for you on Roku app and also on Fire TV. And I got to tell you, it's great to be part of this, and I want to thank them for putting us on here as well. All right, and then let's see here. Pensman said, question for Mike, can the Commanders contain Barkley? And then, hold on, let me see what, there might be a second question he has. And then, okay, can the Bills upset the Chiefs? All right, you know what, that's two good questions there, Mike. Your thoughts on that?
I'll take the first one first. No, I don't think the Commanders can contain Saquon Barkley. I don't think that anything can contain Saquon Barkley.
But they can slow him down, right?
They can slow him down.
Slow him down. Yeah.
I don't think the stadium can contain Saquon Barkley. I don't think the laws of physics can contain Saquon Barkley. The thing, though, is I don't necessarily know that they need to.
Okay.
If they are able to limit the Eagles' ability to pass, or if the Eagles limit their own ability to pass, A.J. Brown is playing with an injury. It looks like Jalen Hurts is limited. The Eagles' pass game has been limited. Saquon's going to get his, but being able to cut off the pass and playing their game, they may not need to necessarily focus on stopping, limiting, containing Saquon Barkley. They just need to go in and do what they do well and understand, Saquon's going to get his. That's just this season's been like. As far as can the Bills upset the Chiefs? I mean, sure. It's not like the Chiefs have necessarily been blowing away all competition and all comers. I think that the game against the Texans was even a little bit closer than this final score might indicate. That said, going into Arrowhead and playing Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce in a championship game out in KC, look, there are certain things that are guaranteed in the world. Death, taxes, and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce in the NFL playoffs. If I was betting, I don't think that I would pick the Bills to upset the Chiefs, but I can definitely see how they can do it. Josh Allen played a pretty good game. We saw that the defense was able to mess around with what the Ravens did best. They were able to, again, force the Ravens to be uncomfortable and deviate from their game plan. And that caused, ultimately was what enabled the Bills to get out of there with that win.
Well, tell me this, though, Mike. I agree with this, with the percent of the Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season. Am I correct here?
Yes, they beat the Chiefs, but they beat them in Orchard Park.
Right.
It's a different game when you have to go.
Right.
It's
right.
a
I get
game
that.
when you beat a team in the regular season, and then you have to go to their place. The Commanders beat the Eagles a couple of weeks ago down here in Washington. I know for a fact that the Eagles defense was embarrassed by that game, and Vic Fangio is going to have no problem motivating his guys to go out there and get after it, the same way that Patrick Mahomes has heard that he got beat by Josh Allen. It's a different game when you're in the playoffs, when you have to go into somebody else's territory and win. It is really hard to beat the same team twice, let alone 3 times, but twice in the same season.
All right. Mike, I have a question for you real quick, but first I want to give Cliff Kingsbury a lot of credit for the development of Jaden Daniels. I think the offensive coordinator and handling of Jaden Daniels, he's really done a good job. Dan Quinn's done a good job of putting a good staff together. And, by the way, speaking of the Washington Commanders, former defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio just got a job with one of the Europe teams, in Europe, that league that they have there. He just got a head coaching job there. So just to let everyone know about that as well. All right, Baltimore Ravens here, Mike. Let's talk about that a little bit. They came up short, which I'm glad. I'm not a Ravens fan, never have been, never will be. John Harbaugh messed up again, tried to go for it on a 4th and 3 or something, and now he had to eat it. And happens a lot with John Harbaugh. But your thoughts on their season this year, other than the fact they made it where they did?
It's the never-ending story of the Ravens with Lamar Jackson. They are in a lot of ways turning into the Colts under Peyton Manning. They can get to the playoffs, they can get to the divisional round, but when they get but so far, something just happened. I don't put this one on Lamar Jackson as much as other ones. Yes, I know he had the botch snap for the fumble. I know that he had the interception. But when you look late in that game, he led them back. And you have two uncharacteristically. Mark Andrews has lost 2 fumbles in his entire career. This was the second. Mark Andrews has, he's as shorthanded as they come. He drops a wide open pass for a 2-point conversion when the Ravens had all the momentum and were coming back. It's just Murphy's Law working against the Ravens right now. It just seems like whatever can go wrong for them does, especially when it comes in the playoffs. We'll see, Harbaugh, who, if you're going to give Lamar credit for not getting to the championship game, if you're going to give Mike Tomlin, you're not going to give Tomlin credit if you're going to be against Tomlin for the Steelers' lack of success in the playoffs. At some point, you really got to start looking at Harbaugh and saying, why doesn't he get more criticism for the Ravens' lack of playoffs in the success when you see other players and coaches in his own division getting that much shtick for what they're not able to do in the postseason?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you brought up about the Pittsburgh Steelers' lack of moving on. They haven't won a playoff game since 2016. I feel bad for T.J. Watt. He hasn't been able to win a game here. Getting a little frustrated, and I don't blame him. Smoking Jim, you have any questions? Anything you want to add to what we were talking about here?
I tell you what, man, you've been laying it down, Mike. I've been enjoying the conversation, but hey, who do you think is going to win league MVP this year?
I think it should be a tie between the two of them. I think that both I think that Saquon Barkley should be league MVP, but I believe that league MVP, you look at literally the most valuable player. If I took this player off of this team, where would they be and would they have been successful? And I think it's hard to argue that without Saquon Barkley, the Eagles would probably be at best a 500 team. That said, I think it's a quarterback award, the 2 best quarterbacks on winning teams, because, look, Joe Burrow had one heck of a season. He just couldn't overcome his own defense. Lamar Jackson has had a season unlike anybody else, 41 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. How many people have been 10 to 1 interceptions to touchdown ratio? To pass for 4,000 yards, to run for another 900 is absolutely incredible. But then the numbers that Josh Allen has put up have also been incredible. To me, it's hard to pick between the two of them. I think that Lamar might have had statistically the better season, but he won it last year. So I can see, if I had to pick one of them, I can see recency bias. Lamar has given us another season that we expect to have from him. It was Josh Allen who showed us a little bit difference in decreasing the turnovers, winning the games, going up head to head, and the way that he played, especially down the stretch. I think that pushes him a little bit over the top, and you end up with Josh Allen as your league MVP.
All right, let's see here. Pensman says that hold on, let me look at this here. Choked in the playoffs. Ravens, yes, they do. They choked this year again, and it's becoming a big time one. Pencilman's Sports here has said that you are a legend. I thank you for that. I appreciate the kind words, and I want to thank everyone today who's watching on the Huddle Sports Network. This is our debut show of the Sports Corner Show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier. And we're here every single Tuesday, 4 to 5 p.m. And then from 5 to 6, we do Wrestle Talk. And today I have a special treat for you at 5:30, Dan Polinsky. And guess who Dan Polinsky is? Corey Graves' father. And we're going to talk to him about what the deal is with Corey Graves and the WWE. He was demoted to NXT and decided he's not going to do it and walked out on Tuesday. Didn't even do the show last Tuesday at all. Was very, very frustrated. So, yes, he is, Pencilman. He was just on this Saturday. He is on the external bum. Yes. Once in a while, I bring Mike on the external bum. Yes, I do. Thank you for asking. All right. The External Bum Show every Saturday at 9 a.m. with me, Ralph Williams. Scott Morganroth took a little time off, but he'll be back. Anyhow, here it is here. Scott Morganroth, Leo Haggerty, and Jeremy Balwick every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. And we're also on the Huddle Sports Network as well as YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and the Twitter X platforms. And please do not forget about the Sports Corner radio show every single Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m., 12:50 a.m., 92.5 FM, The Answer, the Sports Corner radio show. And I got something I got to talk about. We're going to do that later on, Smoking Jim. So, Smoking Jim, any final comments for Mike before I let him go?
No, great job, Mike, man. Can't wait to have you back.
All right. Okay, Mike, I'm sorry to make you talk about the Steelers. You said what you had to say. We're out of the playoffs, and we stink again this year. We blew it. We just didn't, had a 5-game losing streak trying to go into the, but anyway.
They've got to sort out that quarterback position at some point. Until they sort out the quarterback position, and I don't know who you want to blame for that, the front office, whomever, they've got to sort that out. And until that gets sorted out, I think you're seeing what you're seeing, because you can't go through this revolving doors of never wases and has-beens and expecting them to lead you to the promised land. It comes down, if you want to win games in the playoffs, you need a quarterback that can take you there. They may not need to win every game, but you need to put it on your quarterback every once in a while. And the reason why you're seeing these 4 teams that are remaining in the championship rounds is because they have the quarterbacks who are capable of putting their teams in their best position to win when they need to do it. And that was what the Steelers were missing again this year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I do agree with you on that. Mike, thanks for being part of the program as always. And I'm getting ready to, I don't know what's going on today. I'm having tech issues trying to get everybody their invites here, it seems like. And then I had to send them out late because I was setting up the Huddle Sports thing here for these 2 shows. I had to reset everything. So it's been one of them days. It always is.
I understand. We always have one, and it's great talking to you both, and I'll check you out next time.
Same here, Mike. Thank you. Mike SSZAK from the Amped Up Sports, who we're also on their network as well. Not live, but we're on their Facebook page. This show gets uploaded on there all the time, so check it out there as well. And so there you go. Smoking Jim, real quick, I wanted to talk to everybody today. This past Friday, I received a phone call from a competing radio station, and you're not going to believe this, everybody, and Smoking Jim. The phone call I got was from St. Barnabas Broadcasting Network, one of their other stations. They called me on Friday. They wanted to know if I was interested in moving my radio show to their station. Now, let me give you a little bit of a tidbit here. St. Barnabas Radio Network is the same people who own Beaver County Radio, where we were at before with the Sports Corner radio show. Okay? I just want to let everyone know that, but I did not, and I repeat, did not and will not put any more of my material on any St. Barnabas Radio Network station. So you know what I told him. Smoking Jim, your thoughts on what I just said?
I think you said it all, brother.
That's it. I just want to know what your thoughts were on that, because I thought I did a pretty good job of letting them know. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's Pensman. Okay. Yeah, I know we got Pencilman here. He's I'm not putting it up, but he's wondering why some things. Well, Pencilman Sports, I'll tell you why. I've told you many times. I'm not putting your stuff up here because you say things that are inappropriate, and I'm not going to post them. And you don't talk about things involving the show here. All right, we're waiting for Harry the Greek. He's coming up. He's going to talk with us about the Chicago Bears. Smoking Jim, and in case you're not aware, Chicago Bears just signed Ben Johnson to be their new head coach, which we'll talk about. And, so your thoughts on Ben Johnson getting that job with the Bears?
I think it's a win-win for both organizations. I think it could potentially strengthen the Bears, at least on the offensive side of the ball, and it can weaken the Detroit Lions because he's going to try to get every available coach off of that staff to join him with the Bears. So
Yeah,
that should be interesting next few months.
I'm wondering if Aaron Glenn's going to go, or if he doesn't get a head coaching job. I heard he's up for a couple jobs, one in New Orleans.
Who?
Aaron Glenn.
Who?
Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator.
No, he won't be allowed. You can't make lateral moves. They can stop you from making lateral moves, but if you get a promotion,
right,
they usually can't stop you. So,
okay.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn won't be allowed to. He won't be allowed to leave, and he wouldn't want. Why would you want to leave Detroit?
Well, I don't know how close him and Ben Johnson are. I mean, sometimes people leave a team and they take coaches with them. And that's some assistants will go with them. So, But anyway, all right. Anyway, Smoking Jim, we're going to open it up for you. What do you have to offer today? What do you want to talk about a little bit here? What do you want to talk about?
You can start it off, brother, because I know you got a lot on your mind.
Yeah, a little bit here and there. Your thoughts on this national championship game that was last night? Your thoughts on that?
I think college football is ridiculous. I think Ohio State played 17 games this year, and Notre Dame played 16 games or something like that. And it's really getting to be ridiculous, the amount of football games. That college season is just too long. Not too long for me. I think it's too long for the fan base. This 12 teams was kind of thrown together. I thought that I agree with you that Ryan Day saved his job.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Because
I think if it would have choked this year, I think he would have lost his job. Chip Kelly's the offensive coordinator there. He brought him in to get that offense rolling, and I'm kind of happy with the fact that they did win because he saved his job. I never would have expected Notre Dame with Marcus Freeman to be there, but he's going to lose Al Golden. Somebody in the NFL wants to hire him. There's about 4 teams that want to talk to him about being their defensive coordinator. So if Al Golden leaves Notre Dame, they're going to have to get another defensive coordinator of his stature in order to keep up. Pensman's asking, will the Bears actually compete now with Ben Johnson? Pensman, I think the Bears will compete because now they have a coach who can coach the quarterback. They don't have somebody who is a defensive coach. So, but we'll find out. But guess what? Guess who we have here, Smoking Jim? We have Harry the Greek, who is going to talk to us about the Bears. Harry, welcome to the program. Been a long time. How you doing, man?
What's up, Ralph? What's going on, sir?
I had to get you on here, man, because you know why? When you're on with Peter, I never get a chance to come on and talk with you. That's the whole thing.
That's because you guys end up talking about that turnbuckle stuff. I just can't do it, man.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. The only thing I know about turnbuckle talk would be Dick the Bruiser, Dusty Rhodes.
Hey, Bruiser Brody just died.
I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, but he just died. He was one of them classic wrestlers too.
Was he really?
Yeah, Bruiser Brody. He just died.
You know, I got to tell you, I have a guy that used to work with me when I was working with Bridgestone. His name is Kenny. I don't remember his actual name, but he was a professional wrestler, and his theme was 240 pounds of muscle, steel, and sex appeal. And I forgot that, I'm going to text him, and I'm going to ask him what was his name, because that is absolutely hilarious. How you been doing, man? How's everything going?
We're going okay. The Steelers aren't going to the Super Bowl, and I don't have to do my shows naked because I said I would if they did this year. But now I've been everyone's been savage to the fact that I don't have to do my shows naked. Smoking Jim, say hello to Harry the Greek. It's been a while.
What's up?
What's up, my man Harry? Always good to hear you, brother.
All right.
Not much,
Okay.
man. Nothing much, man. Nothing much. I just everything is status quo. I mean, what else can I honestly say? It's a little
You're enjoying
chilly
it.
down here on the west coast of Florida. I got to tell you, just a couple hours north of us, there's going to be 2 to 6 inches of snow. How about
No
that,
way. No
dude?
way.
I'm going to show you a picture.
For real.
No, for
Oh my
real.
gosh.
And
Well, no. Is
hang on.
it around St. Augustine? Because I got friends in St. Augustine, Florida. I got
Well,
friends there.
no, it's going to be a little further north of this, so I'm going to go ahead and just
So
bring
that's
this
like
picture up
Tallahassee,
here.
Jacksonville.
There you go.
Oh my gosh! Wow, with
Now that
palm
is a
trees.
Now take a look.
I
Welcome to
see
the
it.
free state of Florida.
Oh
And
man!
take a look.
Wow.
Look at the snow. That's a
So that
state
means
trooper's vehicle.
you can live for free then.
Yeah, that's a good one. No, but at least we got a good governor. No
Yeah,
state
exactly.
income tax. I mean, it's actually pretty nice. What's going on, Smoking Joe? How's life treating you out there? Well, I
Smoking
guess
Jim.
Hey,
Smoking Jim.
hey,
Sorry,
Harry,
Joe,
life is
Jim.
great. Yeah, life is great, man. I tell you what, um, I've been talking about the curse for years, since 1958. The curse has been on the Detroit Lions, and they found a way to extend it another year. And I tell you what, he can win all the MVPs that he wants, but for some reason, uh, Lamar Jackson can't seem to get to the big show.
I got to be honest with you, man. I honestly thought that Lamar was going to look, man. I still don't know how they lost in Buffalo, but then again, you got to catch the ball when it's thrown to you. That's all I'm going to say. Lamar had his opportunities. I mean, it's hard to beat a team twice in the National Football League, and especially when you're talking about 2 teams like the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. I mean, those are 2 perennial teams in the AFC. Let's just be honest. And I'm going to tell you right now, Smoking Jim, both of these teams could beat and upset Kansas City.
Yeah, they could. Exactly. You're right.
And
And
I am a little upset that Baltimore didn't win that game. I have to be honest with you. You know,
well, I said it all the time. You can ask Smoking Jim. John Harbaugh blew it again. I mean, he makes these bad boneheaded decisions that just cost him a game, and he had to eat it again. I always say, "Eat it, John," on 4th down. Every time he goes for it, I go, "Eat it."
but
You know what
look,
I mean?
man,
Because he's going to eat it.
I'm not being indicting when I say this. He's not out there catching the passes. I mean, Lamar couldn't have thrown a better pass there.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's true. That's
he
exactly
couldn't
right.
have. Okay,
On that
I mean
2-point conversion or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Or
I
that,
mean,
yeah.
on a 2-point conversion, that's just horrible luck. I mean, let's just call it what it is. But then again, does Buffalo, are they going to finally get over the hump?
We'll see.
I think Baltimore had a better shot, to be honest with you. I honestly thought Baltimore was the best team in football this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just had Mike SSZAK on from Amped Up Sports, and he was just talking. He covers the Washington Commanders, and we were just talking about them and how they are in the NFC Championship game here, and they've been fighting through the whole season to win. Jalen Daniels doing a good job. Let's get started with the Bears here, Harry. They just signed and inked the deal to have Ben Johnson as their new head coach. When I had talked with you yesterday, you said you really didn't like this idea. Is that the case, or what's your thoughts on Ben Johnson?
Look, man, I'm gonna be reserved with my comments. You know, when I say it, I'll be honest with you. Was I high about it? No. Do I think he can do a good job? Yes. But let me be really clear when I say this. He's the most sought after coordinator to become a head coach, and he's got zero experience. Zero.
Right.
And it proves it. $14.5 million a year. We're talking about the Chicago Bears just signed someone to $14.5 million to coach their team. And they're still paying Eberflus because they fired him. Just let that sink in for a second. And we're also talking about the McCaskies and George Halas. Tell you what, Dick Butkus said one time about George Halas that he used to throw quarters around as if they weighed as heavy as a manhole cover. Okay. This team has never, ever spent that kind of money for a coach. I like what I see out of Ben Johnson. I'm just hoping it doesn't turn into another Matt Nagy 2.0.
Yeah,
but then again, say what you want about Nagy. They were a double doink away from going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
And he did it with who? One Mitch Trubisky. This is a much different team. Let me tell you something, Jim. They lost 7 games this year to Chicago Bears by 3 points or less.
Right.
Okay. And in the fourth quarter, they played as well as they could. This kid, Caleb Williams, their quarterback, I still
Yes.
think he's the best quarterback in this draft. Not because of his record, from what I've seen. He took over 230 hits this year, been sacked over 70 times, and still got up and played every single game and threw, I think, 8 or 9 interceptions for the entire year. That's hard to do.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. It
They
is.
have the receivers, they have the tight ends, they have the running backs, they have a really good defense. What are they missing? They're missing an offensive line. And I'm glad you asked me about Ben Johnson. It's easy to be that good offensively when you have the best offensive line in the entire National Football League. So that's why
Well,
I'm not so excited about it. I would have sacrilegious now. Don't get
right.
me wrong when I say this. I would have loved to see Mike McCarthy as the head coach.
That would
Now,
have been nice. How about
and
Arthur Smith?
no, thank you. And by the way, the Bears made a ploy for what's his name from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Arthur Smith.
No.
They would. Yeah, there was rumors out there. I actually heard that is true.
No,
the Bears
it is
had a
true.
phone call.
They offered 2 second-round picks, not their first rounder. Pittsburgh would have entertained it. Are you ready for this?
Right.
If they would have threw in this year's first-round pick. Chicago can't do that. They need too much help on that offensive line.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. They did. Yes, they did. Let
But
me
when
see here.
you have the best offensive line in football, it's easy to look really good. Pensman Sports, hey man, that's a matter of opinion. I do love Jaden Daniels, but I'll tell you right now, you put Caleb Williams behind that line and what they're doing, Caleb Williams, hands down, is a better quarterback. Jaden Daniels is going to win you a lot of football games. Don't get me wrong; they're the 2 best quarterbacks in here. You can't say that about that because you're not comparing apples to apples. Jaden Daniels is a much better runner than Caleb is ever going to be. But guy for an arm and accuracy, it's Caleb Williams all day long.
Oh, also, and Jaden Daniels has a very good offensive coordinator, and Cliff Kingsbury is very good at working with the quarterback. So
yeah,
that's
who, by
another
the way,
issue.
the Bears interviewed and said, "Nah, we don't need you."
No, we don't want you. Yeah, exactly. Smoking Jim, any thoughts on the Bears here, and any questions for Harry?
I gotta give Harry credit. I agree with him. I've never seen a quarterback with better feet in the pocket than Caleb Williams. I mean, the guy's a magician and keeps his eyes downfield and can make plays. I mean, with the chaos all around him, he just got great feet and awareness in the pocket. I think that Ben Johnson is going to inherit a quarterback that he got a very good chance to win with. Now, is it true that the Bears are going to build a indoor stadium?
You know what? From your lips to God's ears, I hope they close that snow-plowed, windy city. Again, blasphemy. When I said I wanted McCarthy to be the head coach, the Bear Killer, get rid of that stadium, bulldoze it. Are you kidding me? Have you ever been to Soldier Field? Have you, Smoking Jim? No. Let me tell you something. First off, it's a really
Smoking
cool
Jim,
stadium.
you ever been to Soldier Field?
Many times.
There you go. There you go.
The old Soldier Field was a dust bowl that got really cold. And then what they did, Ralph, which is really cool, is they built a stadium inside the stadium. Which is no, seriously, Jim. When you're at level 1 on the first row, you can literally reach out and touch the bench to the opposing team or the home team. That is how close it is in there. But they only hold like 68,000 people because they didn't make it as big. It's actually a pretty cool looking stadium, but man, they got to catch up to the times, bro. They got to get a dome, And they ended up buying Arlington Heights, which is owned by Churchill Downs out of Louisville. And here's the cool part. That property is so large, they can put the stadium, a parking lot, a hotel, a casino, and a mall all on the same parking lot. That is how big it is.
Well, that's going to be some good money. I mean, some good retail business tax base and everything.
Incredible revenue.
You should see what they have here when they built up around Acrisure Stadium. Oh my gosh, we got bars and clubs and restaurants and amphitheater and just all kinds of stuff built up around there, and stuff like that. We're hosting the draft in 2026, so that's going to be in this city. It's going to be kind of a mess, but you know what? That's fine. I'll take it for what it is. All right, Pensman Sports said Daniel's still number 1, Caleb Williams number 2.
That's a good opinion.
Is it bigger than the Packers Stadium? He wants to know.
You know what? I think Green Bay holds more. than what Soldier Field holds. But you know what? Since you did bring up the Packers, oldest rivalry in football, it's Chicago, Green Bay. I've been to Lambeau quite a few times, and I have to tell you, of all the rivalries, it is probably the friendliest rivalry in football that you'll ever see. I'm going to give you an example. The last year that um, Walter Payton was playing, and he announced that he was going to be retiring. Uh, every stadium that he visited, they had curtain calls for him to come out just to do a lap around there because they wanted to give him a standing O. Before the game, I recall walking through the parking lot. I'm in my Chicago Bears gear. We're having a good old time. And all the Packer fans were like, "Hey, man, come on by, eat a brat. Hey, have a beer." Everybody's partying and having a really good time. But at game time, everybody hates each other. But after the game, hey, come on, let's go get a brat and a beer. I've never seen anything like that. But anyway, talking about Peyton, that particular game, the Bears beat the brakes off of Green Bay. Absolutely just beat the brakes off of them.
Oh
And
yeah.
nobody left. Bears are going back into the tunnel, and about 2-3 minutes later, you hear Walter, 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 and it just kept getting louder and louder and louder. And we're in Green Bay, and Walter
Right.
Payton comes out, and they made him do a walk around the entire stadium so that they can give him a standing ovation. Classy fans, classy rivalry, and it's just a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet it is. All right, we have about 4 minutes left here with you, Harry, because we got to wrap it up here. I got to get the wrestling show going at 5 o'clock. And I want to say, Harry, we're on the today's our debut show on the Huddle Sports Network on Roku and Fire TV, and we're also on their Facebook page as well as we debuted today on
Good
there as
deal.
well.
Congratulations, Ralph.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
The Bears
Harry,
are also looking to pick up Dennis Allen, from what I understand, to be their D
yeah, I did
coordinator.
hear that one.
They
What?
they
That's a
work
good
together.
hire. He's a good defensive coordinator.
Oh,
Stinky head
absolutely.
coach. Stinks as head coach.
Like
And
Eberflus.
yeah, I know. But see, sometimes your second time around's better than your first because you learned your lesson. You should have learned your lesson from the first time, but it looks like he didn't do that. Pensman says that's awesome info. I never been to either stadium thanks to the Greek. All right, there you go. Pensman Sports, loyal viewer of the show. And we're also going to have him come on soon. He covers the Steelers. Penguins has his own show on Twitter
Love
X and
Pittsburgh.
on the South Florida Tribune Network.
I love
So
Pittsburgh. They've given every Chicago quarterback an opportunity to play.
Justin Fields, yes, exactly.
Oh man, how about it? Mitch Trubisky, I'll tell you what, they ruined him in Chicago. He really did have a career. I still liked what Mitch Trubisky could do, and I just don't know what happened. Something snapped, and then they kind of ruined him. And I'm afraid this could happen to Caleb Williams if he takes another 200 hits this year. There's just a shame. Now, Justin Fields, let me tell you something. I know you wanted to talk about the Bears. Get ready and hold on because he's going to be QB1 next year.
I believe he is. Yeah, I don't see us re-signing Russell Wilson unless it's on the cheap, and I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'm not sure. I don't know what the Steelers are doing yet. It's sort of a toss-up or sort of wait and see kind of thing because I'm hearing stories and rumors and things like that, and I'm hearing Kirk Cousins might be coming here. Who knows?
That's
What I
another
mean?
possibility, and don't
Yeah.
curse yourself like that because that's not a good quarterback to have right now.
No, it's
He's
not.
he's
But
not he's not
I'm just saying those are the rumors that are out there. People put stuff out all over the place of
absolutely.
different rumors. You know what I mean? I heard Ben Roethlisberger's coming back. I heard that story too. So I mean, it's all
Who?
over the place. Ben Roethlisberger's coming
Oh,
back.
come
I hear
on.
that story too.
Stop.
No, I'm serious, Harry. It's just that's the type of stuff that's out there. I mean,
Ralph, you could
know.
line up at you'll be running back number 1, okay, before Ben Roethlisberger comes back up
Hey,
under
I'm
center
in a
for
wheelchair,
Pittsburgh.
man. That's
I know that. That's why I said that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got you. I got you, man. I got you. All right, Smoking Jim. Do you have any final words you want to add, or anything you want to talk with Harry here while we have him?
Yeah, man, great stuff, Harry. I heard that that Russell Wilson's looking for 3 years, $100 million. I'm not sure the Steelers are willing to pay that. That's his price
He's
right
worth
now.
he's worth 3 years, 100 million
that,
pesos.
I think that Justin Fields ought to be given the opportunity. I tell you what, he went 4-2 this year. The guy just got wheels that I didn't know he had. At Ohio State, he was a tremendous passer. So I think that with Art Smith, the way he likes to run the football, that'll give him another weapon in a running game with Justin Fields.
Before you close out, and I know you have to get to the next show. I'm going to give you everybody in Pittsburgh land a little bit of a tidbit about Justin Fields. When you do the tape work as extensive as I do, let me be very clear. At Ohio State, he was a passer first and then a runner second. When he went to Chicago, for some reason, this offensive line's never been able to gel. He had to use his natural instincts to run the football. Period. The guy has got an arm. Okay, but let me be clear. Pittsburgh did the right thing by not letting him play that much this year because they just ultimately got a top 10 quarterback in the first round just a couple of years ago for a 6th round draft pick. Hats off to what Pittsburgh did. They completely fleeced them. And they still had a really good season. Okay?
Yes, they did. Yes.
And you protect Justin Fields a little bit. Let me tell you something. You're going to have a guy that's going to surprise you in the pocket. His first read's not there. The second read's not there. Then he drops the ball and take off. But when the first read's not there and he's running, that could be the issue. I hope that helps you guys out a little bit. I do know a little bit about Justin Fields, and I think Pittsburgh's going to surprise a lot of people next year.
Well, we'll see. Harry, tell everybody about yourself. I know you do a thing with Peter Blake. You guys do something on your Chicago stations and things like that. Tell everybody what you do.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can always catch me on Wednesday nights and or Mondays on the sports web, on Facebook, YouTube, and all the other ones. They basically follow the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have me come on as a sports handicapper. This is what I've been doing for 30 plus years as a professional handicapper. You can reach me at Harry Berg, otherwise known as the Greek, on Facebook. Harry Berg _ the Greek on Twitter, or formerly known as Twitter, which is now known as X. Ralph, I appreciate you having me on. Smoking Jim, it's always great to talk to you guys. And you know what? Maybe sometime I can go ahead and give some picks out.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, if we had a little more time, I was going to have you do that. But we got to go into the wrestling show next, and I got to set that up. And so we're on the Huddle Sports Network tonight. So I want to make sure that we're all set for our debut show. So,
Not a problem, gentlemen. You guys have a great day. Thanks for having me on.
You too, Harry. Thank you. That was Harry, the Greek, handicapper, and you can catch him on Chicago broadcasting. He covers the Bears and he covers the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Peter Blake down there in Tampa on the sports web on Amped Up Sports. Smoking Jim Frazier, any final thoughts before we wrap things up here?
No, Harry laid it out, man. We had 2 awesome guests so far tonight, man. Great job.
Well, I had to. It's our debut on Huddle Sports Network.
My man.
But you know it, man. I'm the booking machine, and I'll get somebody somewhere somehow. So, but anyway. All right. For Smoking Jim Frazier, I'm Ralph Williams. Until next Tuesday, we will see you again for another edition of the Sports Corner Show. And don't forget about the Sports Corner radio show every single Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m. on The Answer, 1250 a.m. and 92.5 FM on the FM dial. And also don't forget, I upload this onto my Facebook page, I upload the show onto my Facebook page and onto my Twitter X page, on my Tumblr page, and also onto my LinkedIn page. So you can catch it Sunday night at 8 o'clock. I start uploading it on there if you don't hear it on the radio. And also don't forget, I'll be working on getting it on YouTube next on my YouTube channel. So that way you can catch it there if you don't catch it on the radio. For Smoking Jim Frazier, I'm Ralph Williams. Have yourself a great day, and please be safe. Thank you.